Hey everybody, welcome to a relaxing video. A video about this laptop. Now, this is an interesting little laptop I found. It's got an AMD Vision processor. We'll get into the details on that one. But one of the things we'll notice right away is that this had a former life as an Asian laptop. As you can tell, I believe those are Chinese characters, but I'm not that familiar with Chinese. But there's definitely some extra characters on this keyboard. Even up here, look at this small backspace. The small shift key, very small. Yeah, lots of Asian characters. And then we have some interesting little HP sort of extra keys that they put on there for invoking some of their own software and some things you might commonly use like a calculator. So yeah, and of course you got your regular sort of function keys. Anyway, this is known as a Pavilion dv6, and I quite like it. Let's take a look at the top. When I saw this laptop, there you go. There's a shot of the top, very white. Just put it back up again. And see if I can get a shot of the, it has sort of a, I don't know, like a pattern to it. I don't think you can see it very well. You can just sort of see it when you, I wonder if I can tilt it. I can't get it to show. I can't get it to show. Anyway, there's a bit of a textured pattern to this laptop. And we'll swing along the sides to see what kind of port arrangement it has. Let's go for a wide shot here. We have venting. We also have venting underneath, so it's actually really well vented and it gets fairly warm when it's active. VGA, your network, Ethernet, HDMI, and something has gone out of existence, but I find it quite useful. It says eSATA combined with a USB. And this is great if you can get a hold of a PVR expander. I found a few of them, and they basically used to be on a lot of PVRs. They come with a cord that fits right in here, and then it becomes a backup system, backup hard drive for you. So it's kind of nice, and you can get them for nothing. USB, audio, card reader. Swinging around the front, we have a couple of front-facing speakers, which is nice, right? Because when they bury them underneath things, you can't get great sound coming out of them. So it has decent sound from what I can hear. It's got another USB, an optical drive, and another USB. So nice appointment of USB. So yeah, here we go. So I quite like this little laptop, although it did require me to install an English version of Windows 7 because it came with a Chinese version of Windows 7. So it wasn't going to work for my language skills. All right, let's take a look at some of the aspects of this laptop. This is going to be kind of a relaxing review today. kind of a lazy Saturday afternoon, so I decided to do this video. So we can see that it's Windows 7 Ultimate Service Pack 1, and the experience. Well, before we get into the experience, let's talk about the processor. It's an AMD Athlon 2 P340 dual core, running at 2.2 gigahertz, and it has 4 gigabytes of RAM. The Windows experience is 4.2, but let's see where the weak point is. Well, it looks like it has pretty even distribution of sort of calculations per second and all that sort of stuff, so it's fairly balanced out in terms of performance. I guess the weakest point is the desktop performance. Now, you might notice there's some kind of something here. That's me. I cleaned this thing out, this display, and a little bit of water seeped in here, and slowly it's evaporating, so I don't think it'll have any permanent consequences, but for this video you're gonna have to put up a little bit of weird kind of a little bit of water underneath the panel. It'll clear up. Some of these laptops are just so dirty. I have to use quite a bit of cleaner to clean them up, like a lot of water and soap, and then I end up getting a little bit of water underneath this. This has happened to me before, but never had any serious consequences in the past. Hopefully it'll just evaporate over time. I know it has been over time evaporating since I've been refurbishing it. Yeah, don't care about this right now. Don't care. Get out of my way. All right. So that kind of gives you the Windows version of the specs. You can see that all the devices we have drivers for them, so that's good. And yeah, what am I doing here with that? That's not what I care about. Just wanted to see what we're doing with the processor. The processor is not busy, so it's not updating or anything, which is good. Using 1.37 of the RAM, so getting close to not quite halfway, but that should do. Doesn't look like it's very active. A good time to do some Nova benching. All right, so if we look at the actual CPU details, we can see that it has, a pretty decent complement of instructions. 2 cores, 2 threads, so it's not going to be a powerhouse, but let's see what it can do. And don't care about the cache. It is a Hewlett-Packard 143F AMD model motherboard with those kinds of things, and 2010 is its BIOS, running 10, I guess. Let's take a look here. DDR3. Oh, good. I like that. I like DDR3. Whoops. DDR3, I notice, is something that AMD used to use quite a bit of. Excuse me, guys. I always have congestion. All right, so we can see that the first stick is Samsung, and it was manufactured in 2010, so we can assume the laptop was manufactured in 2010, and the BIOS are from 2010, so everything's pointing at this being a 2010 laptop, although this looks like it actually was likely an upgrade, because it's a Transcend stick. Normally you'll have matched sticks. Let's see if they're the same frequencies, at least. Yep. So they're matched in terms of the type of RAM, but they're not the same company, which is typically something that was probably an upgrade. So maybe back in 2010 it was running with 2 gigs and it was upgraded to 4. I find that hard to believe, but it's possible. 4 would be pretty standard for 2010. Who knows? It's a Chinese laptop, so maybe in China they were doing something different down there, over there, east of here. All right, so we got an AMD M880G with mobile Radeon 425 graphics, and it's got a whopping 336 gigabytes of dedicated memory. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be awesome for graphics, but I'm interested. I'm interested in seeing what this is like. So a summary of the details are right here, and this is why we look at this is for the temps, so we can see the temps. 45 degrees Celsius and 44 degrees Celsius for the motherboard is pretty hot doing nothing, but this is an AMD, and we know AMD likes to cook. It's a cooking kind of type of system. They always seem to run warm. All right, so let's take a look. The final thing is the hard drive, which is a spinning disk. It's a 7200 RPM, and it has, let's say, 178 days of usage. So it's pretty young, really. This is odd, though. Seems to be running, transfer speed seems to be quite low for a 7200 RPM system, so that's interesting. The big thing here, too, is temps are a little warm, but not bad, and the status is good. So that's great to see for an older 2010 laptop. Last thing, of course, we like to do is we like to get a benchmark reading on this laptop. So let's try it out. Okay, I don't think anything's running, so let's see. Yeah, so I found this laptop in the thrift store, and it was a little dirty, but I thought, let's see if we can get it to work. And there was a plug, and I could actually plug it in, and it booted to a Chinese Windows 7 OS, and it's like, great. It posts, and it has all its components to get to a working OS. So that's pretty much a done deal for me. 20 bucks. I think it was 20 bucks, something like that. It's a pretty good deal. I liked it. For 20 bucks, I'll pick up something like this and see how it does. And we're getting to the point where it's going to start showing us some video activities. Oh, actually, functional. Yeah, hitting into the 100 FPS. That's quite functional for a 2010. I've seen much worse. Okay, let's take a look if it ever shows up. There we go. So it's in the 300s, which, you know, we can kind of expect it to have a little lower score because it's an AMD. But what is interesting about this is overall the score is a bit low, but I look at the graphics score, and that 88 is not bad. Like, that is an even, kind of like an even across the board sort of score. So this would actually have some pretty good functionality for its time period, and even now. I think there's a lot of things I could do with it that some of my other 2010 laptops would not be able to handle, just because of the fact that usually the graphics are just so poor. I mean, maybe 2010, I don't know. Like, I got some, I think, 2008 systems, and they, oh my god, the graphics is terrible. So yeah, guys, not bad score. We're not gonna really go into playing YouTube video or anything like that, or putting Mint on it or anything like that at this point. If we do, we do. I don't know if I've been doing a lot of those, getting kind of fatigued with that sort of approach. But, you know, sometimes it's just kind of interesting to see how things perform, you know, with modern situations like playing YouTube. I think it's a good practical test. All these benchmarks oftentimes don't really tell us what something can do unless you actually play a video or do something that actually requires some demand. So, yeah, guys, that's going to be it. I'm going to save that. Okay, hit the wrong one. Let's try this side. There we go. So that's going to be it, guys. That's going to be my, let's get this out of the way. I think we'll do a thumbnail here. Yeah, that's going to be my review, I guess. This is a review. Is that what we're calling this? Sure. We're calling it a review. So there you go, guys. That's going to be my video of this laptop. I'll put the name of it. It's a weird, like, it doesn't actually have a model number beyond just, well, I guess dv6 we're going to call it. You know, a while ago I had a dv6 AMD system, and it just had a flashing cap lock. Never could get it to work, and I tried all kinds of things. But nice to have one that works. I was going to try and replace the keyboard because it's exactly the same size. The problem is it has a different connector, the way it's oriented. So would have been a nice replacement to get a little bit more normal keyboard going on this thing. But I think I can remap a few of the keys. I can remap this key maybe to make it a longer shift, remap this key to make it a longer backspace. Because those kind of keys are a bit awkward to use when you're a touch typist and you're not looking down. The only problem is this key here is actually something you might want to use. Sorry, guys. Choking up here. Anyway, guys, that's it. I don't know what I'm going to do with these. Remap them to something, I guess. This one could probably be a excuse me, maybe a Windows key on both sides. But these ones, I don't know what to do with those. Those are such odd little keys. Anyway, guys, I hope you're having a great Saturday. I got to go and get some coffee apparently to wet my whistle and get some breakfast. So. Anyway, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.